Well, good evening and welcome inside Jerome McGinley Arena. My name is Keenan, bringing you all the action for this evening's matchup between the Senior Drillers and the Red Deer Riot. As your starting goaltenders between the pipes for the Drillers, Sarah Burmeister wearing the number 31. She gets the call. Down on the other end of the floor, about 190 feet across from her, is going to be Isabel Barnes for the Red Deer Riot. So I apologize if I may stutter or anything like that. I am just getting over a cold, so I'm going to do my very best here to give you the best call possible. So off the draw. That one's going to go all the way down into Riot zone. Watson's going to pick that one up as she's going to bring it up through center. Dished pass, missed initial target, but picked up and quick shot scores. As Natalia Mind, in 21 seconds, gets the Riot on the board. It's 1-0. As Natalia picks up a missed pass that initially I believe was for Waldo, and then bounces it off the floor in between the legs of Burmeister, as the Riot actually one person short on the floor at the moment. Referee gets the fifth out there. It's off the draw. The AP Belarchik, playing for the Saints normally, called up for the Drillers today. Drillers playing a pretty short bench. The Drillers right out in front shot. And that one shouldered aside. Second chance opportunity. Diving in. Turned aside. So the Drillers playing a short bench at any given time. They only have, I believe it's 6 people on their bench. Maybe 7. It's Waddell with it. Waddell brings it in, running it in, looking for a bouncing shot. That one, not quite enough heat on it. Play continues. Drillers with possession, moving back the other way. That outlet pass ends up in the stick. As I apologize, that is not Barnes in net. That is Bowen. Only caught the one on the jersey, so my apologies. That is Zoe Bowen in net for the Riot. Just driving in, getting a shot off, and that one just off to the side was Hills. Riot back left to right. The Riot wearing the white with the red, black trim. Drillers in the gold with the white and black trim. A shot from far out did find its way. Everybody actually kind of lost that for a second, including myself. Went back behind Bowen. And a minute and a half into this one, it's tied at 1s. Draw one by Skilly. Skilly to Mind. Mind holds. Now up top. Waddell weighing the options. Passing down low, skirting through traffic shot. Goes just wide, and that ball is going to bounce all the way back, over and back. So that will be Drillers' ball just over 2 minutes in. Drillers far side corner, now up top. Pass off, holding is Priest. Priest, down low, far side corner. Now up top, back to Priest. Priest looks to wind up and shoots one just wide. Belarchik trying to get the rebound. Instead going to be scooped up by Langstrom, who has to fight for it. Dishing off 7 seconds on the shot clock, looking down low. Looking cut in, shot onto the close side, goes wide. That will be a 30-second shot clock violation. Riot possession. Cut pass. Little spin move is Hills. Hills looking in and tucks it over the far side shoulder of Bowen. Makes it 2-1 Drillers. Blarczyk, clean win. Passing back, now up on the close side. Priest holds, waits for the reinforcement. Passing off, winding, firing one just a little bit too far to the left was Rosen. Maintaining possession are the Drillers, looking for another shot, maybe last second. They get it off in time. However, they are going to award it back to the Riot, saying it was a split second too late. Riot bringing it in. Quick shot and holding, standing her ground was Burmeister. What an opportunity there for Skilly. Wow, unbelievable. Is now running it in all alone is Hogan. Hogan floats one on and a good opportunity looking to pick the far side corner. Ball knocked loose, Blarczyk passes right up in front and looking for another one, nice shot. Second chance, maybe that was actually hit and redirected towards the net by a teammate, just went wide. That's gonna be an 8-second violation on the Riot. The Drillers ball. Just waiting for the Riot to make the full change off. Drillers, close side corner, runs it up. Looking to push in. Elects to cut behind the net with it. Holding, 14 on the shot clock. Looking for a diving shot, stepped just in the crease. That's going to be Riot possession. Just under 4.5 gone by in the first. Loose ball, picked up by Job. Job to Carlisle. Is now run in. Passed off to Priest. Priest looking for a fake, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Blarczyk, wide, fires and scores. Drillers looking for another quick one, and they get it as Ryland Hills brings it in with speed. And only 11 seconds after the 3-1 goal makes it 4-1. Loose ball off the draw. Finally going to be scooped up by the Riot as they bring it across the half. Watson gets called on the over and back. And they're going to give a delay of game call to the Riot. as Kletke threw it backwards rather than just dropping it. So the Drillers are going to go to work on the power play. Belarchik quarterbacking over far side. Floated on, that one tossed aside. Possession kept by the Drillers. Cross floor pass, shot. As they award a possession back on the high stick, and now we'll get a full whistle. There'll be a penalty for hooking here. To the Drillers. So we'll play a bit of 4-on-4 action here. They put the penalty over on the wrong side of the score clock here, so just have a second. We get the clarification. So 4-on-4, we play for about a minute 20 still. So that one knocked loose as the Drillers look to move back right to left. Popped free by the Riot. So Waddell brings it in, slows it down, looking to cut towards the center. That shot goes just wide. Player goes down. They'll award possession to the Riot. So 1 minute of 5-on-5, or sorry, 4-on-4 to play. As the Drillers regain, look back right to left. Holding, slowing it down is Job. To Belarchik, now to Priest. Loose ball, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Drillers got to take a shot here as Belarchik does get one on. Fresh 30 to work with. 20 seconds of 4-on-4. Now looking in front. That one loose. Picked up by the Riot. 4 seconds. And now it's going to be a Riot power play for 30. Riot holding far side. Looking for Skilly. Missed her stick. Trying to keep it from an over and back. Good defensive effort by Rosen. As Skilly bounces it on. That one just wide up into the netting. Brought in. Hills holding. Get some help. Passes off. Galler looks for it as we're back 5-on-5. Down low with it, behind the net. Looking right out in front, fresh out of the box shot. Drops right between the legs of Bowen. Just under 12 to play here in the first. 4-1. Drillers leading the Riot at the moment. Belarchik, the Hills, shot. Gets a piece of Bowen, but it is going to go all the way back into Drillers territory. Now up in the close side corner. Priest back up high. Looking down low to Belarchik. Belarchik, spin move, shot, scores. We give it to Belarchik. Makes it 5-1 Drillers, just under 9 minutes in. Quick shot by the Drillers, turned aside. So the Riot just trying to clear it over the half. They finally do. They beat the 8 seconds. Looking right in front is Waddell all alone and turned aside by Burmeister, who's really settled in after that early Riot goal. Another bouncing shot goes up into the netting. That's going to be Drillers' possession. 10:21 to play in the first. Floated through center. Hills picks it up. Hills looking to cut in. Goes up to Priest high. Priest dishing off, quick shot. And finds its way past Bowen. Even another one to Langstrom. There's Langstrom. He tells the referee exactly who it was. It's Langstrom from Priest and Gawler, if you're wondering what she yelled. It's the Drillers with possession once more. Belarchik to Priest. Pass into the close side, now back up top. Winding, fires one. Turned aside by Bowen that time. Trying to regain the free ball, she does. Sends it up through center. That one went off of a Driller, not going to be an over and back for the Riot as that one gets knocked free. There's Waddell, saying got pushed. So the Riot looking to go to work on a sustained offensive pressure. That one picked off as Hogan gets past her defender and takes a shot. That one just goes wide. Ball loose. Scooped up by the Drillers momentarily. Still loose now, as everybody's fighting over it. 4 seconds on the shot clock, might I add. As the Drillers weren't able to get one off quite in time. And we'll have the media timeout here of the first. Just over 11 and a half gone by. 6-1 Drillers leading the Riot. You're watching NetFront Sports. going to be Riot possession here coming out of the media timeout. 8:28 on the clock here in the first with the Drillers up by 5 at 6-1. Skilly brings it in to Waddell. Pass off intended for Mind, missed. Now picked up behind the Driller net. Tossed up through center, picked up now by Mind. Waddell looks to drive in. And a quick shot and scores is Hannah picking up the loose ball. As Hannah will end the Drillers' 6-goal run to pull them back up. It's brought in, dished off by the Drillers. Now over far side corner. Quick shot, stopped by Bowen. Look for a tic-tac-toe play there where the Drillers. Riot looking to score another one here quickly. This bouncing ball goes all the way to Burmeister very slowly. Burmeister signals she's just going to send that one down, and she does. As the Drillers were looking for a full change, about 2 of them did not get that change off as the Riot look for a quick one back. The shot stopped and scooped up by Job. Job up through center to Hogan as Hogan bobbled it momentarily. Now the Riot in their own close side corner. Back up. Nice defensive effort set by Priest to knock that loose. As the Drillers cross the half again is Hogan. Doesn't want to make the same mistake she just did again. With a little more grace, gets to Hills. Belarchik, open lane, shoots that one, and they are going to count it. They say it just crossed the goal line. And Belarchik and AP with the hat trick in the first. Make it 7-2 Drillers. Skilly with the win. As Hannah comes and scoops it up, trying to knock it loose are the Drillers. They do, as Langstrom brings it back in. Langstrom, little spin move, bounces it over to Priest. Priest trying to cut in, and Langstrom's going to take a penalty here. So 2-minute slash to Langstrom. 5:50 to play here in the first. As the Riot look to go back to work on the power play. Try to start chipping away at this 5-goal lead. Far side. Up top, Skilly. Dishes off. Now down low, far side corner. Up top, Waddell. Waddell gets knocked. Now looking for a shot, gets one from out far, turned aside. Riot maintained possession, looking for another one on Burmeister. Looking for Lena Skilly, gets one on just a little bit wide. Picked up now by the Drillers, as the Drillers move back right to left. Hills bringing it in shorthanded, slows it down. Just trying to hold and kill off some time. Still 55 seconds remaining on the PK. As that one goes out of play. It actually hits head coach Brooke Huber of the Drillers unexpectedly. So the Riot back the other way will restart. Still 43 seconds power play time remaining for them. 4.5 to play in the first. Waddell up top. Looked to cut in to Panescu. Is looking again. And now grabbed, this time by Riley Skilly. That one went off a defender into the close side corner, picked up by the Drillers. So now Hogan crosses the half. 10 seconds remaining on Langstrom slash Belarchik to Priest. Looking down low, cutting in, looking for a lane, gets a shot off. As now back. There's going to be a penalty on the play as it just went back to 5-on-5. It's going to be a hit from behind here on the Riot. So the Riot head to the PK, and the Drillers get their first technical look at the power play, as the last Riot penalty only resulted in a 4-on-4. Riot looking to move it out. Spin move from Waddell. Beats the 8 seconds. Waddell dropped it. Trying to scoop it up here on the close side boards. There's going to be a hold actually called here on the Drillers. So that is a short-lived power play. As Hills is going to sit for 2 for holding. Back to the 4-on-4 we go. 3:24 to play in the first. Bounce shot, stopped by Burmeister. Scooped by the Drillers. Spin move. As Lusney trying to beat the 8 seconds. Lusney still holding. As that pass, lobbed over to Hogan. There's 2 seconds left and a shot just in time. But they are going to award this to the Riot, as they're saying that Belarchik stepped in the crease on the shot. Ball loose, close side corner, Drillers end. 2.5 to play in the first. Drillers right to left. It's Hogan looking right down low, shot scores. It's Taylor Priest in all alone on the 4-on-4. Makes this an 8-2 game. Stalemate off the draw. Kicked out and picked up by Langstrom. Langstrom holding as she gets taken down. As Rain, I'm pretty sure you saw that just as clearly as I did there on the broadcast. Just stick wrapped right around her and drug her down to the floor. That shot goes wide. And with the 30-second shot clock violation, that will be a penalty for interference. So it'll be a 2-minute holding call with 1:55 to play in the first. So 9 seconds of a 4-on-3. Followed by another 20 seconds of a 4-on-4 again. Drillers had the extra man until now. Now back 4-on-4. Step through the crease. Riot ball. As the 4-on-4 about to come to an end is the Riot looking to capitalize on it. Skilly with the shot. That one bounces wide up into the netting. As the penalty has officially expired to Hills, but they're going to award a cross check now. As Job is going to now sit for 2 for a cross check. So a minute and a half of 4-on-4, which actually takes us all the way into the second. It's a minute 15 left in the first here. Let's pass off. Mind looking for a shot. Stop Burmeister. Just swallows that one up. Now looking for an outlet that goes up into the netting. So it'll be Riot possession with 60 seconds to play. Riot looking to at least get one more and pull this back within 5 heading into the first intermission. Swallowed up by Burmeister. Postlesny crosses the half. 37 to go in the first. Hogan. So Drillers looking for an opportunity. Belarchik missed the initial pass, spin move. Throws it on, picked off by the Riot as they'll have the 17 seconds remaining in the first. Trying to get across the half and does. Good effort by Watson. As that one, the Drillers, 7 seconds left. Got to take a quick shot. They do. Turned aside by Bowen. With 2 seconds left, it's not going to matter. This time will expire in the first. So coming out of the first, 8-2, Drillers with the lead over the Riot. We'll start the second with 5 seconds of a 4-on-4, followed by a short 31-second power play. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to NetFront Sports. My name is Keenan. We'll be back with the second in just under 10 minutes' time. welcome back inside Jerome McGinley Arena. Second period action about to get underway here between the Riot and the senior drillers. Thank you so much for tuning in. 8-2 drillers lead through the first 20. They also lead the shot clock 19-12. Bowen and Burmeister find their spots once again. So 5 seconds of a 4-on-4, followed by a 31-second Riot power play after the late penalty from Job for cross-checking. It's the Riot with possession off the draw. They're going to go immediately to the power play here. Shot from far out, stopped by Burmeister. She's not going to be fooled 2 periods in a row. As a pass up for Langstrom had a little too much heat on it. You could practically hear it hit the stick and come out. As now we're back to 5-on-5 for the first time in about 6 minutes of play. As Rosen gets pushed after Bowen already had her stick on it. So they'll award this to the drillers as the drillers look to go to work early in the second. And they make it happen quickly as Hills with the goal. Skilly with it off the draw, looking right in front was Hannah. That one gets knocked free, but the Riot regain, and a quick shot on Burmeister. Second chance opportunity goes wide. His ball loose. It's going to be picked up by the drillers. It's Carlisle off to Hogan. Hogan looking for Langstrom a little down lower. As Langstrom takes her woman all the way down to the floor. No penalty on that play as the Riot bench was up in arms. So there's a penalty on the play now to the Riot. I believe it's going to be a slashing call as the drillers look to get one on the delayed penalty. As that one drops down and picked up by Bowen, and it will be a slash to the Riot. So Cockerill's going to sit for 2 for slashing, just over 2 minutes into the second. Langstrom to Belarchik. Belarchik looks to go back across, I believe, for Hills. Loose ball picked up by Hills. Langstrom back to Hills. Shot scores. And that will be the first power play marker of this game for either team. As Hills, with 2 goals to start the second, puts the drillers up 10-2. Riot with possession off the draw, looking to cut in. That shot went wide and bounced back nearly to center. So Riot retained possession. Far side, quick shot. Stop Burmeister. Pilarczyk now. Lobbed over to Job. Job goes down low to Hogan. Hogan back onto the close side. Nifty little deke out to still get the shot off on Bowen. It's now an outlet pass intended for Rosen. Bounced in and out of her stick. Sorry, it wasn't even intended for the Drillers, but almost grabbed by Rosen regardless. As now the Drillers going back to work. Quick shot, just wide of Bowen. Pilarczyk with it. Up at the top. Pilarczyk up high. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Now down low, cutting across. And that time Hills was turned aside. Drops into a Riot stick. As now the Drillers picked up the loose ball and quick shot. And that's going to be awarded to the Riot now. Bounce through center. Kletke brings it in. Cuts back the other way up high and dishes off now. Now down far side corner. And a shot turned aside by Burmeister. Kletke regains, passes off, quick shot by Mind. Goes high and player gets drugged down. I believe it's going to be coincidental minors here. So Job is going to sit for 2 minutes for roughing. And on the other side, the coincidental is going to go to Thomas, who's going to get a holding call. So we'll play 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Drillers up high. Langstrom looked to cut it in back to center. Nobody was home. Picked up by Hills. Hills, long shot. Dropped off the shoulder. And it's going to be a loose ball push, which will be Riot possession. So now Skilly looking to break free. Skilly getting a shot off Burmeister, standing tall. This player gets knocked down. The Drillers will get called. So it will be Job sitting for 2 for a hit from behind. As they're actually actively taking a picture, as now Brenna and Aaron Job both in the penalty box at the same time. Because they have to commemorate this occasion. As the Riot were looking for a quick goal, but Burmeister stands tall. It's the 4-on-3 now in favor of the Riot. 6 minutes gone by here in the second. It's a low shot on Burmeister. Squeaks past the stick. There'll be a power play marker for the Riot. (10-3). Drillers now lead. As stalemate off the draw was won temporarily by the Riot, bobbled, and now the Drillers look back the other way. 4-on-4 is where we are now. Is that one grabbed by Job, fresh out of the box as Job bounces it just high over the net. Now long shot goes just wide. It's Thomas now out of the box. So the Riot have 31 seconds of power play time to work with here. Looking for another one to keep chipping away at the lead. Across the half, loose ball. Bunch of bodies right in front, scooped up now by Ponescu. Brings it in and a quick shot. Stopped by Burmeister. As Burmeister looks to cover for the rebound. Ball loose, crosses the half. It's now 5-on-5. Looking, Drillers, cut it off. As now Belarchik in all alone and puts it just wide. Rounding the net with it are the Drillers. As the Riot grabbing, Cockerell trying to do a little spin move. Can't find her way around Hogan. Loose ball now picked up by Rosen. Rosen up to Belarchik. Passing off, quick shot. That one's shouldered down off a shot by Priest. As the Riot, that ball just out of reach, goes all the way behind the Drillers' net. However, the Riot retained possession. Pass out intended for Hannah, bobbled. Now loose. As Belarchik is going to grab back in Riot territory. Wait for the reinforcements. Belarchik gets some help. Looks for the cross-floor pass. Finds it to Langstrom. As Langstrom will pick it up off the floor and throw that one in. That will make it 11-3 for the Drillers. Drillers in down low, looking for another quick one. As that one is pinched off by Bowen. Bowen up through the middle. It's loose behind the Drillers' goal line, picked up by the Riot. It's cut pass, good defensive effort there by the Drillers. Hogan brings it in, slows down. Langstrom up high. Actually, she fooled me. She did pass it at some point. It's now down low and making herself tall was Bowen. As it was a nifty wraparound type play by Hogan, trying to put it over the shoulder. Driller's close side shot. Turned aside by Kletke, or at least off her stick. Just crossed the halfway point of this one, 11-3. Drillers leading the Riot, leading the shot clock 32-19. You're watching NetFront Sports. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Keenan. Again, I apologize for the shaky commentary, as still getting over a bit of a sickness here. That one looking right out in front, and a nice stick in the lane. Is now in all alone is Gawler. Gawler, nobody to contend with but the goalie, and Bowen was able to make the stop right in the pad. Brought in by Waldo. Waldo cuts back around in the close side corner. Now up to Waddell. Waddell dishes off, quick shot off of the foot of Burmeister. Player knocked down, gets knocked free by Waddell. Picks it back up. Looking to go in front, missed, so picks up her own pass. Far side corner. That pass into the close side corner. Nobody was home. Quick shot goes just wide. Grabbed as Gawler crosses back over the half, trying to keep it an arm's length away from Hannah, and does. And that pass missed. However, the Drillers maintain possession. 8 to play here in the second. Langstrom. Hogan. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Hogan looking to push in and get one off, and does just in time. Ball loose, picked up now. Drillers maintain. Hills regains back up top. Now Priest looking to go down low. Job with it, far side. Now looking in front, shot goes off the post. A game of inches for Hills. Looking for her third of the period, fourth of the game. A little fake jump move there by Rosen. Didn't fake out her defender as a nice quick shot from Priest streaking in. As Priest will get it on that one. The diving goal from behind the goal line. To make it 12-3. .6:59 to play here in the second. That one scooped right up into the air and down deep into Riot territory. Riot pass across the half, ends up in the netting. And that will be the first stoppage after the half, so that will be the media timeout of the second. 12-3 is the score as the Drillers lead the Riot from here in Jerome McGinley Arena. You're watching NetFront Sports. So Drillers possession, with 6:39 to play here in the second. Starting deep in their own zone is Hills. Langstrom now looking for a quick shot, little fake out. Passes off. Hills looking to cut in. She does, gets a shot off just wide. Belarchik scoops up the rebound. Pushing down low is Hills. Cuts back in and another shot. That one's shoulder to side. Bowen is locked in right now. Belarchik to Hills. Now Langstrom. Langstrom, it bobbled out of her stick. And now picked up by the Riot. Player knocked down and the Drillers regain possession. Look for a quick shot. Was Priest cutting in. As that one still found its way home. And the Drillers will take a 13-3 lead with 5:45 to play in the second. One cleanly by Belarchik. As Carlisle gets pushed over for an over and back. A good job there by Rain to make it happen. As Rain goes off in a bit of pain. That one goes out of play and is going to be awarded Drillers ball. Give you an update on Rain, as we know, as she's now back with trainer Olivia Mitchell just off to the side of the bench. Luckily has not gone down the tunnel into the dressing room. As cutting across the middle was Langstrom. And found a way to put that one home to make it 14-3. They're saying that the Riot actually jumped the start there. Riot in disbelief as the Drillers now look for a quick one. As Belarchik had some heat on that one as it went just wide in up into the netting. Riot across the half. Loose ball into the close side corner. Picked up. Waddell. Over onto the far side. As shot clock comes to an expiry. So now the Drillers with the numbers looking back the other way. It's the Riot. Head coach Dave Couchman not pleased with the referee, as the referee is giving them a bench minor. So the Drillers, in the meantime, with the goal to make it 15-3, as head coach Dave Couchman takes a 2-minute penalty for unsportsmanlike. The referee's going to just have a quick discussion here. So penalty going to be served by Ponescu. Is won by the Drillers. Belarczyk gives it off to Priest. Makes a quick move with it. Looking. Belarczyk, Priest, Hills. Cuts in, shot. Stopped by Bowen, loose ball. Grabbed Rosen. Priest, Hills. Back to Priest. Belarczyk. Priest, Belarczyk. Hills. Shot. Turned aside. Priest, Belarczyk. Shot. Turned aside again by Rosen. Or Bowen, sorry. And that is going to be an over and back on the Drillers. 3:21 to play here in the second. Riot up top. Looking. Shot. Bounced off the floor up into the netting. They're saying it actually did catch a piece of Burmeister, so that will be Riot possession still. Riot. Sheck. Up top. As Mitten slows it down. Short-handed still for 30 seconds. Mitten still holding. 7 left on the shot clock. Rips one from out far. That one down low. Second opportunity. Shot from Sheck. Gets a fresh 30, but the Drillers will pick that one back up. Is now driven into the boards. Penalty on the play coming up to the Riot, as the Drillers will just send that one down and wait for it to be touched by the Riot. There's actually going to be 3 different penalties assessed here, as the Riot are going to take one. Sorry, we're just getting everything sorted here. So it's a check from behind to Riley Skilly. There's also penalties to Pose Lusney and Brenna Job on this one. So it's going to be a the official call now that I can actually read lips, is slash to Job and an unsportsmanlike to Pose Lusney. As they get everything sorted. Everything looks correct on the board here, but they are still just talking down here. As they actually added, there we go. They added all three instead of just the single to Job, not the coincidentals. So it will result in a Riot power play in 1 second. As the 1 second has passed, and now the Riot get to go to work on the power play with just over 2 to play in the second. Riot, far side with it. Looking in front as Gawler tries to bring it up. That one knocked loose as Waddell with it. Waddell gets driven down. Penalty coming up on the play to Langstrom. As Langstrom is going to take a 2-minute tripping call. To quote Brenna Job in the penalty box, quote, "It's a party in the box." And that's how it is for the Drillers, 3 of them sitting in the sin bin. So long 5-on-3 here for the Riot. As that one immediately went back down into Riot territory. So will be Drillers' possession on the 5-on-3 shorthanded. Minute 50 to play here still in the second. So that penalty assessed to Langstrom will take us to the end of this period, barring a couple power play goals from the Riot. So that one crosses the half. That will be an over and back. As the Riot now look to go to work on the power play. Knocked down was Skilly. He's saying step through the crease. So will be Drillers' possession. Priest gets knocked down. They'll award back to the Drillers. Minute 10 to go in the second. Hogan up to Priest. Priest looking in, saying to go in as they're looking shorthanded. Quick shot goes wide. Under a minute to play now. Is a shot from out far from Rosen. Swallowed up by Bowen. 50.1 to play in the second. Up to Kletke. Kletke passes off. Now a shot from outside, stopped by the Drillers as the Drillers just going to dump it down as Job is about to come out of the box in 1 second's time, and there it is, 5-on-4 now for basically the remainder of this period. The Riot look to change that. Jumping to get it. Shot goes high and hits the referee. Grabbed by the Riot as they get a shot off. And it found its way past Burmeister with 5.3 seconds to go. And that will make it 15-4 as we're about to head into the second intermission. 5.3 on the clock. Basically going to be just the face-off here. Might as well count it for statistics purposes. This ball is down and stalemate, won by Belarchik with 2 seconds left, scooped up by Langstrom. Will do it for the second. So through 40 minutes of play here in Jerome McGinley Arena, the senior drillers leading the Red Deer Riot by a score of 15-4 and leading the shot clock 47-23. Well, my name is Keenan. You're watching NetFront Sports. We'll be back with the third in about 10 minutes' time. 40 minutes down, 20 minutes to go here in Jerome McGinley Arena as the visiting Red Deer Riot take on the senior Drillers. Through those first 40 minutes, 15-4 is where we sit, with the Drillers taking a commanding lead through the first and keeping their foot on the gas in the second. As you can see on your screen here, head coach Dave Couchman having a discussion with the referees. It is assessed a 2-minute unsportsmanlike in the second. So the final 20-minute stretch from here in Jerome McGinley Arena. Away we go. Off the draw. Ball loose, picked up by the Drillers. Pass for Belarchik, missed. So now the Riot look to move back the other way. Bobbled. Now picked up Waddell. Waddell. They're going to call it a push from behind. As the Riot will sit for 2 for checking from behind. .22 seconds into the first. So Belarchik will restart it for the Drillers. Once again, thank you for tuning in here to NetFront Sports. My name is Keaton, bringing you all the action this evening. I apologize for the shaky commentary, as I had a cold all week that I just can't seem to shake. Thought it would be better by tonight, but evidently I was wrong. Quick shot as the Drillers look for a second opportunity, but pick up the rebound and move it out. Belarchik up top. Now finds his way over close side, Priest. Priest is going to rip one just wide. Belarchik picks it up. 14 on the shot clock. Priest with 10. Belarchik with 6. Shot goes just wide off of the back and onto the back of the net. We're now loose ball. It's going to be awarded to the Riot. Knocked loose. It's the Drillers trying to regain. And they do. Hills brings it in. Hills shot off. And that one's shouldered aside. Second opportunity. Belarchik gets a shot off. Fresh 30 to work with for the Drillers. As there's going to be a penalty coming up on the play to the Drillers. Be a slash. Sophie Rosen is going to sit for 2 minutes now. Riot. Bring it in. Looking down low. Was minned. Good opportunity there for Red Deer. Was grabbed by Thomas. Looking for min down low again. As that's cut off by Job. And now Aaron Job with it. Holds. Weighs the options. Passes up high, Priest. Back to Job, back to Priest. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Priest maybe going to look for a long bomb. Sends that one over the net. Maybe looking for a rebound off the back of the goaltender. No dice. There's a minute gone by in the penalty to Rosen. As that one gets picked off, and Hogan moves in short-handed looking for a shot and puts it just a couple inches too far to the right. Brought in now, spin move, and knocked down was Waddell. As the Drillers try to bring it back is Hills. Hills, spin move, beats the 8 seconds. Slows it down. Checks what's available. Goes up high. It's Priest with it. Priest all over the floor offensively tonight. Priest looking for another long bomb. That one down low. As that one does catch a piece of the goaltender. Gets a fresh 30 to work with for the Drillers. Down low, looking. Shot from Hills. Off the post. Good attempt. It's now back 5-on-5. It's the Drillers staying on the offensive through the short-handed opportunity. Now maybe look to capitalize on the 5-on-5 as that one misses everyone. And is picked up by the Riot in their own zone. Riot rubbed out along the boards was Kletke, but maintained possession as Mind just knocks it ahead. Grabbed by Job. As Job gets knocked into the boards by two different Riot players. It's a bit of a high hit there for the Riot. No penalty coming up on the play. There actually is a penalty on the play. Apologize, it was the back referee that called it, and it will be a cross check. As Aaron Job heads to the box for 4 minutes. A 2-minute cross check and a 2-minute unsportsmanlike. Not pleased about it. And understandably so, as the Riot now have a long power play to work with to try and start chipping away. They got 15 minutes to get 11. Not impossible. There's a bit of pushing and shoving in front of the net. Nothing's really going to amount there. As the Drillers look for a shot of their own on their end. They get one. That one's turned aside into the close side corner. Holding is Hogan. Hogan looking for a spin move around the defender. Gets knocked down. Has to pass it out and does. To Priest. Now looking low is Rosen. To Hogan. Hogan rips one on net, and there's going to be a Riot penalty now for cross-checking. This referee also throws an unsports at the Riot's Avery Skilly. So 4 minutes for cross-checking and unsportsmanlike conduct. Now to Skilly. So we'll play 2 minutes and 50 seconds of 4-on-4. That is a very long time to be playing that way. Lots of open floor. Never know what can happen. So the Drillers offensive looks to go to work. And a nice defensive effort by the Riot as that one ends up in the legs of Barry. as the Drillers on a second chance opportunity. And Hills with 1 4-on-4. Still 2.5 of 4-on-4 to go. Now looking in as Hills gets knocked down off the play. And on the delayed penalty, Priest gets another one. Riot still headed to the box. I'm not sure. Oh, it was a 5-minute high stick, which would be why the Riot are still heading to the box. So the Drillers head to work on a 4-on-3 power play. Which will end in 2 minutes' time. 6 on the shot clock. Pilarczyk, spin move, jumping shot goes just wide. That'll be a 30-second shot clock violation. That one goes all the way down the floor to be picked up by the Drillers. Job off to Hogan. Hogan up to Hills. Cross. Langstrom to Hills. Now down low, Pilarczyk cuts in and scores. So Pilarczyk's goal makes it 18-4 in favor of the Drillers. It was on the power play, so back to 4-on-4, I believe. No, we are not. As Couchman is just looking for a bit of clarification from the referee. So still 4-on-3 in favor of the Drillers. Pilarczyk to Hills. Up to Pilarczyk. Back to Hills. Hills with a shot. Hits the post. Looking for a second chance, maybe. Or the Drillers. Quick shot from Rosen. Pick up the rebound. Hills, Pilarczyk. Back to Hills. Quick shot, scores. Making another power play marker for the Drillers. As Hills makes it 19-4. Drillers with it, gets knocked free right in front of the Riot bench, still loose. Now picked up by the Riot. Skilly now out of the box. Covered by Belarchik. So now that one gets passed off. Ends up in the stick of Belarchik. With 11 and a half to play here in the third. As Aaron Job's about to get right out of the box. And there will still be another 2:45 of power play time for the Drillers. As the Riot shorthanded again. So Job brings it in. She's got her sister with her. Brenna looking for Aaron. That one was cut off by Kletke. So the Riot back the other way, left to right. Brought in by Waddell. Waddell slowing it down. Looking to try and push in. 2 minutes remains in the 5-minute major. Knocked loose as Hills has it. Hills into the zone, 2-on-2 is now the Riot get the defensive change off. And the Drillers get the reinforcements. Cutting in, Langstrom with a shot. That one shouldered aside. Hogan passing off to Priest. And now a pass back to Hogan. Quick shot. Stopped by Bowen. Priest. Bounce to Hogan. Back to Priest. Priest trying to cut in. Goes behind the goal line. Behind the net. Ball loose. Picked up Langstrom. To Hills. Now up top. Shot Hogan. Pops up. Fresh 30 for the Drillers. It's another shot. Stop. Drillers with the offensive again. There's 9 minutes to play here in this one. Winding fires one. That one off the shoulder up into the netting. And we'll get the media timeout of the third with 9:01 to play in this one. 19-4, the Drillers leading the Riot. You're watching NetFront Sports. My name is Keenan. You're watching the Drillers and the Riot. So Drillers with possession out of the media timeout. Up top is Burmeister actually was not in her net when they started that. So you could just kind of hear out of the one ear just her equipment clanking along the way. That was kind of hilarious. As the Drillers with another shot, keeping the offensive pressure up, is now we're at even strength 5-on-5. Priest, Belarchik, Hills, shot, turned aside. Ball loose, now scooped up by the Riot. It's Belarchik trying to stop Ponescu in her tracks as she gets knocked down. There will be a penalty coming up here to the Drillers for a hit from behind. So Belarchik will sit for 2 for a hit from behind with 8:04 to play. So the Riot going back to work. The quick shot stopped. So a couple Riot players were getting their sticks in there, trying to knock Burmeister free. Referee getting in there, telling them to back off. Burmeister to Job. Job gives it off to Priest. Priest holds. Spins back. As Hogan looks to cut in. Priest goes up high for Hills. Hills with a shot. That one gets stopped. Fresh 30. Now Priest. Priest rips one just wide of the net. Kept in by Langstrom. Priest. Passing off. Now Hills. Close side corner. Priest up high. 7 on the shot clock. Back to Hills. Cross. Looking for a tic-tac-toe. So that one goes wide. It'll be a 30-second shot clock violation. Riot ball. Skilly with it. To Waddell. 6.5 to play here in the third. Waddell hard shot. Turned aside Burmeister. Drillers back right to left. Langstrom brings it in. Checks who she has with her. Looks for a shot down low. That one stopped. Is diving for it. Was Bowen. Just went out of reach of her stick. Now up high. Knocked loose. Off of Rosen. And back to even strength. Fresh out of the box is Belarchik. Belarchik dishing off. Seven on the shot clock. Hills holds. Now back to Belarchik. 2 seconds. Takes a shot that goes just wide. And that'll be Riot possession with 5:42 to play. Kletke dishes off. Sheck fired one on. Second opportunity. But Waddell cutting in. Good opportunity. Good look. That one's going to go all the way back into Riot territory and force them to work the full 200 feet. Knocked down by Job in open floor. Be a penalty on the play to the Drillers. That one loose and now touched up by the Drillers. Will be a will be a high stick to Aaron Job with 4:53 to play. And it's a 5-minute major. So Job will basically sit for the remainder of this game, barring a lot of power play goals from the Riot here. As that one is an over and back on the Riot. Drillers shorthanded. Hills. behind the net, looking to run it in front. Elects to go to Hogan. Hogan slips but gets a shot off and finds the way past Bowen for a short-handed marker with 3:55 to play. Cleanly won by the Drillers. It's a Riot. Waddell gets in there to pick it up. Waddell knocked down, still maintaining possession. Knocked down again, penalty coming up on the play to the Drillers. Shot off, stopped by Burmeister. And with that touch up, that will be a hook. So it will be a 2-minute hook to Beth Langstrom. So 5-on-3 for the Riot. It's a nice backdoor look by Skilly. Waddell now looking to go far side down low. Missed everybody, but slowed down by Waddell. Keep possession. Throws one on net. That will count as a shot on goal. Sheck with it. Sheck fires one just wide. Regains her own rebound. Just looking from a sharp angle where the Riot. And that will be an over and back against them with 2:42 to play. Minute 9 remaining in the 5-on-3. As Belarchik will restart for the Drillers. Hogan gets around her woman. Cuts back. Floated up through center. And ends up, actually it just barely stays in play. It's Belarchik with it. 5 on the shot clock. And that one ended up on the net. Stopped by Bowen. Bounced through center. And grabbed by Gawler. As Gawler dumps it in. 2 minutes to play. It's Waddell. Looking at the options. Passes up top. Skilly. Skilly with a shot. Stopped by Burmeister. As Langstrom is now out of the box. Making a 5-on-4 with a minute and a half to play. That one bounces all the way back down to Bowen. Now bringing it through center is Hannah to Waddell. To Waldo, and now Skilly. Skilly with a bouncing shot, turned aside by Burmeister. Final minute of play here in the 3rd and final. Driven into the boards. Knocked down. So the Drillers look to try and move back the other way. Ball still loose. As now they are going to award this to the Riot with 42.6 to go. top. Now Waddell. Waddell rips one just wide. 30 seconds to play. That will be over and back on the Riot. So Drillers possession, 25.9 to play. This will be the final, or well, rightfully could be the final possession. This is the Drillers. Look to pass it around the outside. Priest checks the clock. Belarchik cutting in, getting a shot off. That one's shouldered aside. 12 seconds to play. Another shot from the Drillers, stopped by Bowen. As Bowen caught it somewhere in her pads. As Bowen sends it up. That one picked off. Looking for one final shot. And that one catches the defender as the final buzzer will go. And your final score from here in Jerome McGinley Arena, the Senior Drillers take down the Red Deer Riot by a score of 20-4. Final shots read 72-30 in favor of the Drillers. Well, my name is Keenan. Thank you so much for tuning in here to NetFront Sports. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Be notified every single time we go live all season long. Junior B Tier 1 and Alberta Major Female, as well as Senior B action. And be sure to join the memberships for $8.99 a month. You get 24 hours early access to all podcasts here on the network. Past, present, and future. Well, once again, thank you for tuning in to NetFront Sports. Your final score, Senior Drillers 20, Red Deer Riot 4.